Hey, good afternoon, Vietnam. Hello, all YouTubers. Hello, all non-TIs, and hello, all the people that I love, the survivors of this horrendous crime. I haven't made a video in a while, so I wanted to do an update, and I think I'm going to be doing, some updates this weekend because see, this is why I haven't been making videos lately. I've been having severe cognitive see, I can't even think of the word. Severe cognitive oh god, I can't, it's a simple word. Just interference. Severe cognitive interference. I've been having a lot of it lately. So I'm kind of like, I used to, when I'd make videos, I would just think about things for a couple of days and then make a video, and I could remember all these different things that I was thinking about and just make the video and be like, okay, well, this is something I was thinking about, and this is something. Now it's like I can barely remember, I can barely hold on to those thoughts because of my remote neural manipulation by my attackers. But I'm going to push through it, and I think I can remember at least the main things that I wanted to do in this video. As you can see, there's a beautiful painting behind me. I'm in my parents' condo because my AC busted, which is under very suspicious circumstances. The motor, actually the AC guy came today and said it was the motor had just overheated over time. Overheated to where you could turn I used to be able to turn the air conditioner off, turn off the breaker, and then turn it back on so that it would work, so that it would blow air. But I'm gonna take this tape off for a second so it doesn't flip back over. But the motor just overheated to basically where it's broken now. So he has to order a new motor, and it's very, very suspicious because it had broken. I guess I don't want to go into that whole story, but just long story short, it had busted. I turned it back on and it was working. Then I talked to another target individual whose AC had been out for like 3 weeks. And that night, I had a great night of sleep and I wasn't hit that hard, but I woke up in the morning and was not able to turn my AC on, and the motor had just overheated to the point where it broke it. So it's very, very suspicious. I kind of have a feeling, and I'm not at all blaming this other TI. It's just, I think that my attackers were like, oh, well, that guy, his attackers broke his air conditioner for 3 weeks. Let's go ahead and do this. They were kind of, pussyfooting with it a little bit. And then they went ahead and just said, let's just break the damn thing. But anyway, that wasn't the important news that I wanted to cover. I kind of just wanted to give you all an update. I wanted to make a video to feel like I was doing something. And I've heard myself say that, as well as a lot of other TIs. But I saw Michael Barden saying that he's made a lot of great videos. So check him out. He is ex-military and a family man too. One of the nicest, smartest guys that I see talking on YouTube, and who is a TI. So please check out his channel. He's really working hard to get this information out. So I do want to plug his channel. He's just a really nice guy, and none of us should be going through this, and none of us deserve this or have done anything to deserve torture like this. But he's just a really, really good guy and really smart, and he's really working hard, at a job, like his own business, and dealing with all of this. So I really commend him. But what I wanted to talk about, and I may go through kind of what I'm going through personally, and also my attackers are doing something with my storage on my phone. So this video could cut off, but I'm just going to try and get the information out and go through it. But it might cut out at a weird time, and then I'm still going to put the video out. But I was driving today to go to the grocery store and run some errands. Also, I haven't slept. I woke up at like 6 o'clock last night, and it is now noon the next day. So yeah, I haven't slept. So I'm also a little bit more scatterbrained from that. But I was out running a couple of errands today because I had to wait for the AC guy this morning. So I thought after that, go run a couple of errands and then just crash. But I was listening to K-Love, which is a religious music station. And somebody caught, like, I turned the radio down, and somebody called me, and the air conditioner guy is in another part of my state that's a little bit it's not in my city. So he actually has to come a pretty long way to get here. And it was a number that could have been somebody dealing with that. It ended up being some kind of car insurance salesman or something like that. And I'm sorry, I have an itch on my nose. I'm not, no gang stalking signals. But I thought that it could have been something to do with the air conditioner people. It wasn't. It was some car insurance salesman or something like that. And then, so I got off the phone with them, and I turned the radio up, and I caught the end of a news story. Now, this is on a religious music radio station, and it was saying that Mike Pompeo said that the symptoms that this American experienced were similar to the Cuban embassy workers. And I didn't hear the beginning of the story, so I was like, oh my gosh, okay, they're finally reporting some Americans who had these symptoms. So I rushed home. I actually called a targeted individual and left a message about this. And maybe some people know about this, but and I'm gonna do a video on that article. And there's another article on people who were traveling to Cuba after the embassy workers had those symptoms. Many Americans going to Cuba are still getting that happening to them. So I'm going to put it with that. But a consulate worker in China has had these symptoms recently, and I think that's what the news story on K-Love, which is totally. I mean, if something's on the news on K-Love, then it's completely mainstream. So another huge incident at the consulate in China, where an American worker was experiencing pressure in the head, and also the high-pitched sound. So guys, we need to be getting this story out. It's huge that it's huge that it continues to happen on this level. With embassy workers, and now it's not just the Cuban embassy workers. Well, it never really was. In the past, there have been incidents in the Russian, the Russian embassy. There's been incidents all over with this happening to people, but a modern day, like in these last couple of years, now it's not just the Cuban embassy workers; it's also a consulate worker in China. So now it's a trend. And it's also a trend because, targeted individuals all around the world, are experiencing experimentation, torture, research and development, whatever you want to call it, on just normal American citizens and normal citizens around the world. I know a targeted individual who we were talking a while back, and it must have been 2 years ago, and she said, and she's a really smart TI, and she was like, it's just a matter of time before this happens to somebody who's too important to cover it up, and then the mainstream media is gonna end up reporting it, and it's gonna come out, and that's what's happening. I think that we're all important, and a lot of whistleblowers who are very important. Karen Stewart, Karen Stewart and Dr. Horton, and Ella, really well-spoken people, Brian too, really well-spoken people who, are obviously not crazy, but these are actually embassy workers who, are very important, and the mainstream news is picking it up. So this is another incident. So guys, let's start getting the word out. on this, and it's definitely connected with what's going on with us, directed energy weapon systems, and it's starting to come out. It has been coming out. I think most people know. I really think that most people know about this by now because you watch a YouTube video, like some target individual YouTube videos are getting like 70,000 views. I've seen one. I think the highest number I've seen is like 150,000, and then you see like maybe one negative comment saying they don't believe it's happening. And then everybody else is either experiencing it or knows that it's happening. I think we're just at a point where there's so much money and technology involved and people's jobs in the security industry, and with these third-party contractors that people just can't do anything about it, and they've got the media kind of wrapped around their little finger, and all they have to say is national security and terrorism, and everybody kind of shuts their mouths. But I was really excited about that story because now it's a huge trend. It was a trend happening in reality. It has been happening in reality for many years, but now in the mainstream media, it is now a trend. These incidents at these embassies and consulates. So I'll make another video, going through that story, and also another story about people who were just tourists going to Cuba, were experiencing the high-pitched sound, headaches, and mild brain injury, after the Cuban embassy attack on the embassy workers. Trying to remember what else I wanted to talk about. And I'm not having much luck. I've just lately I'm exhausted. Thinking about this stuff, talking about this stuff. I really want it to end. I'm a very hopeful guy, and I know a lot of other target individuals are kind of like me. They're very hopeful people, but we see how big it is, and sometimes. Some target individuals are like, this is never going to end. We've got to learn how to just live our lives alongside of it. And I really, I don't believe that. I think that miracles happen. Miracles happen every day. And it is going to take a miracle for this to end, but miracles happen every day. And we just don't see what's up ahead. We just don't see what's up ahead that's coming. And, I'm starting to, I really want to fight for a balanced life no matter what. And so I think that I'm going to really work on a balance of trying to live my life with this. I did it with Crohn's disease. I've been just waiting with this one. I do fun stuff, and my life is, it's kind of been destroyed by this in relationships where people don't know what's going on with me, and I'd rather them know what's going on with me, or this to not be happening. But I would kind of land on the philosophy of try and live a balanced life of happiness in as much as you can get in there while fighting it at the same time, and find a balance. So don't go, this is never going to end. So I'm just going to learn the best things to live with it, and I'm not going to do any activism. I'm not going to try and get the information out there, because then it will take longer. The activism and getting information out and all that stuff, the Unity and Hope Conference, TI Television, too many things to name. What Ella Free is doing, all of her talk show calls, her radio show, the organization she set up, what the Techno Crime Fighters Forum is doing, what all the whistleblowers are doing, what Targeted Justice is doing. And I did want to talk about that. I know some people in Targeted Justice, and I'm going to hitch my wagon to them and, talk to them about what I should put out on my videos for you guys to know, evidence that you need to kind of gather up, any kind of announcements from them. I've been saying I'm going to do this for a while, but I've just been extremely exhausted, and I'm just, not consistent. Like my cognitive function is not consistent. I seem to be doing all right with